Hello guys, Shoka the Fool here, back at it again with the first review of 2026, and it is Bloodruth number 2, which I feel is kind of fitting because Bloodruth number 1 is the most popular video I have made on Velvet Room Publishing so far as the time of filming this, and I absolutely loved the first issue of Bloodruth number 1, that really epic 96-pager that gave us a really good introduction to the story of Bloodruth. And one of the things that I really personally liked was, of course, the art by Michael Montagne. Absolutely fantastic art returns in this story. And one of the things that I didn't personally think was I'd say, valid criticism, but people did have an issue with the first issue of Bloodruth was that it didn't focus enough on her. You had Gooding crossing over into the story, which I thought was really well done. You, of course, had Michael Copper and Lilian Arnashi involved in this. And while, spoilers, Gooding does not appear in this story, Michael Copper and Lilian Arnashi, they do have like a very little cameo. But this story is mostly just focused on Bloodruth and her family. You see, this is Charity Bloodruth, her grandmother. You got Jebediah, her grandfather, who's a werewolf. And really, all of the characters in this story, they just serve to focus on Bloodruth. Not that they don't have characterization or they aren't well written. It's just that Bloodruth is the centerpiece of the story, as should be, because it's her ongoing series, for crying out loud. But it really is, the second issue really focuses on Bloodruth, and that is what people really want to see, and that's what we get to see. Of course, you've got some stuff that's probably not the most YouTube friendly, so I'm going to kind of avoid that, but this story is drawn really well. It's dark, it's gory, it's gritty, and you've got Montagne's really fantastic art, just bringing every page to life. The layouts are done quite well. All the character designs are really good, and Brett's coloring work is done quite well. And of course, you do even have these lighter scenes. So really, this main story is Bloodruth trying to bring her family back to life, including her mother. So she goes to the heavenly realm, and there, if you can see, she meets her mother, who has the, I guess I was zoomed in a little bit, has like the halo over her head, indicating that she is in the afterlife, which is quite an interesting thing. Is this like the most like theologically sound or orthodox way of going about depicting the heavenly realm? I would say definitely not. But it does make for an interesting story. I will say that. And of course, there's a lot of I could get into why depicting the halo like this is wrong. It's not like the orthodox way of doing things. But that's, I think, out of the scope of this review. It's all well done. It tells a really interesting story. And like I said, these scenes where Bloodruth is talking with her mother, it really serves to just characterize Sydney and get you invested in her story, rather than getting her into her castle, introducing her and her place in Florist Park, and just it being more or less just a start. They have the foundation, Saska's are just building on it, and you really get a fantastic story, or at least I would say the fantastic beginning of a story, whereas you do have it ending on a cliffhanger. I guess I'll just show that off right now since I said spoilers, but you basically got her brother basically trying to enjoy her, or basically send her to hell and enjoy every second of him doing so. So that's where it ends for number 2. Good thing that number 3 is available for pre-order. I believe that pre-order has closed, so it's coming out in the coming months. So I already have pre-ordered it. I was like, I need number 3. When can I get it? It's like, oh, I already put the money down to get it. So Bloodruth number 3 is in the works. It's coming out. It will be here sooner rather than later. I'm really excited for this, and that's really the most I can say praise I can give to a book is and I finished reading it, I just want to read the next issue. And the Saskas are really, really good at doing that, and they certainly have been able to do that with this second issue. So I'm very happy to report that. This definitely is a great continuation of the first issue, and if you had that issue with the first with Bloodruth number 1 that there wasn't enough focus on Sydney herself, and it felt like there were just other characters, and it felt too cluttered. This is not the case in the second issue of Bloodruth, and with the way the story is structured, it's going to keep the focus on Bloodruth, which, like I said, really is essential for this series. It needs to focus on Bloodruth because, it's called Bloodruth. Doesn't really have that work of having to establish the universe like Isom did. It's doing a very good job at just focusing on Bloodruth, and this is what really all of the ongoing series that are focused on characters really ought to do. Just stay laser focused on that one character, and this is what the Saskas are doing really well. They're fantastic comic writers, especially with shorter page counts. This is 56 pages, but they do really good work in 15 to 20. So when they got to 56, it does feel like a very substantial story. And when you get to that cliffhanger, it feels very well earned. Of course, it's just a joy to look at and read through. Of course, the book quality, the page feels always really nice just flipping through the physical books themselves. But it just looks fantastic. Everything's laid out quite well. The lettering from Invisible Art Studio is done well. I've never really had any complaints about the work that they do. And of course, I always love when characters have their own unique lettering, especially villains. Abel's done with that really well. Fantastic. Absolutely love all of it. So it's just really no complaints, very solid. And I'd say it's what you would want from a number 2 based on reading that number 1. So if you were, like I said, a bit iffy on number 1 because it felt like it wasn't about Bloodruth, which I really, I don't see that as being the most valid criticism, but people did have that feeling. I understand why they did. You will not have that with Bloodruth number 2. So I wholeheartedly recommend this, and really, really excited to see where the Saskas take the Resident Blood Witch's tale next. But that's all I have for you guys for this review. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Joker is out.
Thank you for stopping by the Velvet Room. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you can keep up with Velvet Room Publishing, and go to velvetroompublishing.com if you want to go even deeper into the Velvet Room.